Hello and welcome to Fire Emblem Potluck, where at the moment we are restarting Felix's Paralogue because in order to get um you can get like a special shield at the end of it, but only if you save all of the villagers. So we're going to try this one again and see if we can actually manage to keep all the villagers from getting themselves killed this time. So I did like a whole bunch of preparation before, but I'm not really sure what is in place from the last time. So I know that in any case I was wanting to get rid of my axes and go for um, like swords and lances instead. They're more likely to hit. And I would maybe quite like a javelin to give me a bit of range, since I especially don't get any penalty for my speed. I can carry something that's weight 8 without it affecting my speed. I'm gonna give Leonie a lance just in case. Like, ideally she should just be using bows, but there's a chance I might want to use something else. Just so that I always have options on this map. I was wanting to check how her speed is doing and see what kinds of weapons she can have. So she can carry something that is weight of 4 before it starts affecting her, so I'm thinking that maybe I don't want to give her a heavier. I don't want to give her a heavier weapon. Although her speed is very good. No, let's just stick with this. Okay. Yeah, and so we have Lysithia with Lorenz's staff. This will give her a bit of range. So she doesn't quite have as much speed as I would like yet, but she's really good for damage already. And then I kind of decided to I wonder if these are still set. Okay, so it looks like my adjutants are set from before, which is nice. I don't need to reset those. So I've kind of done them differently from how I did them in the last battle because the supports are already like maxed out. Okay. So there's quite a lot of stuff that's already in place. So Desperation I'm not going to bother putting on Lorenz because he's not going to be doubling things enough for it to make a difference whether he does it like before or after, because there won't be one, so. Okay, and it's already switched Lorenz's battalion to be one with a bit more endurance, so this is a D rank battalion. Otherwise I'm going to leave things how they are. I'm going to maybe make use of Marianne's stride a bit sooner, so in the first one I I didn't really use it until the end, and I'm thinking in this time around I'm going to maybe try to use it right at the start to get a bit more movement at the start of the map. So the big problem that I had last time, I lost one villager, and it was down here. So there was there was a villager that went into this area, and then basically I think it was this one. I think this one went down and stood next to this mage, and then got like attacked by a whole bunch of things at once. So I'm going to need to get stuff further up here, like sooner, I guess. The other things that I saw in the last one is that these units on the strongholds, if we don't defeat them, then they'll be reinforcing. So I'm going to send units down to try to take out the ones on the strongholds a bit faster as well. And yeah, as usual, the units that come as reinforcements move on the turn that they appear. So unlike in hard where they'll wait till the next turn, in Maddening they'll move right away. Okay, so I think I want to put Marianne somewhere where she actually can reach a unit so that she can like use this, okay, this stride boost. Okay. Yeah, so I think it's going to be pretty tough again. But let's see how it goes. So yeah, so this would be really helpful if I had the choice to bring Flame in or somebody who could do warp or rescue, but I don't, so just have to make do with what I have, which is lots of battalions. Speaking of battalions, okay, so I've already done this as well. So let's try this again.
Some village. Felix.
So in the last battle as well, I went into the options and changed on, turned the dancer actions on and stuff. Because I thought it might be funny, and it is, but I don't feel like redoing it, so it's like all of the animations, they're nice, but I'd prefer to just have the battles going to be a wee bit faster. So let's get our... So this is like not really going to hit that many right now, which is a shame.
Leave it to me.
I guess then maybe we'll use it on the next one instead, on the next turn.
Stay focused.
I'll go.
Apologies. Here we go.
I'll cut through.
That's my cue. Let's get to it.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
I stand ready.
I will get the victory. Watch and learn.
Everything will be fine. Good people of this hamlet, escape while you can.
So now all of them are on the move, which is bad news for us because they don't really look out for safe places to run to.
Back to the fray.
Oh, thank you. Caution is needed. I thank you. You can...
I think not.
Apologies.
Wait for it.
I will get the victory.
Yeah, so these ones over here are on the move, so I really need to get them. I need to get these ones away, because otherwise I'm going to have a lot of problems. But this guy is really just going to go and stand next to this mage. I don't know what he's thinking, but it's quite annoying. And like the whole map is just like kind of horrible because it's like very hard to move your units with all of this cover, and it's a big map. Let's see if we can get a better outcome than last time. Okay.
You inspire. That helps. Have I?
The stronghold.
Okay, so we at least don't have reinforcements coming out here anymore. It's just a shame I can't really get any nearer to all of these units. Okay, where's the mages?
Look at you.
Okay, and so now I really need to get all of these frozen.
Caution is needed. Appreciated. I will get the victory. How sweet.
What's the speed like of this one? Oh, 19. I think I need to rethink these last couple of turns. Okay.
Let's get to it.
Ugh. Can't afford this.
Here we go. Let's get to it. Who, me? I thank you. I will get the victory.
I stand ready.
Saw it coming. Ferdinand von Eyre.
I'll cut through.
That's my cue.
I'll go.
Leave it to me. Apologies.
I can feel the difference.
Okay, so this villager has managed to survive this mage attack, so I guess we're probably going to be okay. I need to make sure that Rodrigue doesn't go and get himself killed on this bandit leader, because he very well might do. He doesn't have aura anymore, which means that he's only got a melee attack. But Petra should be able to take care of this guy anyway, so hopefully we'll be okay. Let's see if I can take out some of these other enemies before we finish it, get some extra experience.
Do the trick.
And I'm not really optimising my supports and my experience very well right now, because I'm just really trying to keep these villagers alive. That's like the number one priority. 34. Yeah, I really don't want him getting hit twice by this unit.
Thank you.
Okay, Petra should be able to kill him.
Stay focused.
Okay, I think I'd rather have something with a 100% chance to hit. So it's still 85. Okay, it makes no difference. Let's just try this.
That should do it. We've chased those ruffians away for good.
Thank you so much for your assistance. Please, accept this small gift as thanks.
Shield. Okay, this don't need to be to the level.
We are grateful for your help. I doubt those bandits will stop anytime soon, but at least this village is safe. This village was important to the late king. If we hadn't saved it, I wouldn't have been able to face his majesty.
How foolish.
Pardon?
We were protecting your subjects, not your ego. I don't give a damn as to whether you can bring yourself to face a dead king.
I will not tolerate such language from you.
I came here to hone my blade and to save innocent people. I suppose if I had died, you would say the same thing you did after Glenn's death. He died like a true knight. I have nothing more to say. I'm going back.
I'm sorry you had to see that. He's been that way for 4 years now. Of course, I understand his sentiment, to some extent. It all comes down to, well, a difference of opinion. So that's how you feel about it. How fortunate Felix is to have met someone like you. There's nothing as heartening as having someone around who really understands you. He's an odd boy, thick-headed in some ways, but he's my son all the same. I'm glad he has you to look after him.
This is the only ball of the year, and I see why. Everyone is absurdly excited.
Your Highness, you sound so detached. We are all encouraged to enjoy the ball tomorrow.
Right you are. What a burden.
Huh. I never thought we'd see eye to eye, but I agree. I'd rather be swinging my blade than wasting my time with some girl at a ball.
Felix, Your Highness, you must be joking, right? This is our chance to dance with all of the ladies of the Academy to our heart's content. You wish to throw away the best day of the whole year for sword practice? Insanity, I tell you.
I'm pretty excited about the ball myself. It's not like we get to do things like this very often.
Too true, Ash. In fact, I'm going to do you a favor and give you a crash course in chatting up girls. By tomorrow, you'll be an expert.
Actually, I'd much prefer if someone could just teach me how to dance.
Don't worry about the dancing part. I can teach you that easy.
It's time for the ball. That warrants at least a tiny bit of makeup, don't you think, Ingrid? Just a smidge.
Maybe. I'll think about it.
It's settled. Tomorrow morning we'll meet up in Ingrid's room. Ooh, I can't wait!
You know, there's no telling where life will take us after we leave here. If only we could find a way to come together again, just like this.
A fine notion, Your Highness. Perhaps 5 years from now?
5 years from now? Ah, that's when Garrigmach Monastery will be holding its Millennium Festival.
By then, we'll be addressing Your Highness as Your Majesty instead.
That's right. I suppose we all know it's coming, but by then you'll be far removed from us.
Come now, you know me better than that. My title may change, but I won't. And it won't just be me, you know. 5 years from now, you'll all have your own stuffy positions to contend with. But as I understand it, the festivities at the Millennium Festival will be of a scale far beyond anything we've yet seen. In other words, the perfect excuse for all of us to return here.
Ooh, a reunion? That sounds fun! I wouldn't miss it for the world!
I'd love for you to be there as well, Professor. After all, you're the heart of the Blue Lion House. Good. Then it's settled. Of course, if something happens and I'm not able to attend, I'm leaving all of the logistics of organizing this reunion to you, Professor.
It's true. I'm sure being a king will keep you busy, but it's a bit early to be backing out of your own plans, don't you think?
Yes, I suppose you're right. I'm sorry. You have my word. I will return as well. Count on it.
Running away? I understand. You hardly had the time to breathe in there. It must be hard to be the favorite teacher at the ball. Poor professor. So you do think you're the favorite? I might have known.
Professor, what are you doing here? Good one, Professor. I could see saving a dance for Edelgard, but Claude is another story. In any case, I have no intention of dancing with anyone. As a child, Edelgard taught me how to dance. It was a bit awkward, honestly. I've told you before that we're siblings by marriage, haven't I? Her birth mother was my stepmother, although I didn't know that at the time. My stepmother treated me with such kindness, just as though I were her own flesh and blood. And yet she never so much as hinted that she had her own child, Edelgard. We were born and raised in different territories, without ever knowing the other even existed. Yet, against all odds, for just over a year, we became childhood friends. Indeed. Unaware of each other's stations or backgrounds, we met and became incredibly close. This was when she and Lord Arundel were living in the kingdom. They were in exile. This was a time of great turmoil within the Empire. I ran into her when visiting Lord Arundel's residence with my father. she seemed quite bored with everything. At first, I found her to be difficult and stubborn. But that facade quickly fell away, revealing her true self beneath. That's around the time when she taught me how to dance. Her instruction was, oh, let's call it strict, to put it nicely.
Wrong foot, Dimitri. You're supposed to lead with your right.
Hell, the sun's going down. I really ought to be heading home.
That 1 year before she had to return to the Empire was so much fun. The time of my life in many ways. It's kind of pathetic to think about it all these years later. But can you guess what I gave her as a parting gift? Huh. Good guess, Professor. But I swear, it came from the heart. In Fargus, we've long considered blades as tools of destiny, as a way to cut a path to a better future. She was being dragged all over, unable to live the life she wanted. I thought the dagger could help her cut a path to the future she dreamed of. However, that was many years ago. I'm sure she's forgotten all about the boy I was back then. I'm afraid it's far too late for that. Things are different now. She's different. I'm different. Anyway, I'm feeling a bit out of place here. Festivities like this don't suit me. Still, I suppose I should get back in there. Goodbye, Professor.
But where is there to run? This place is filled with joyful students looking for a dance. Ah, I see. The Goddess Tower waits for you.
What are you doing here? Though I elected to attend this ball, I did not know what to do with myself once there. I do not wish to be a nuisance to His Highness or to my classmates. Thus, I have sought solitude. I noticed a number of people looking for you, however. Should you not return to the festivities? As you wish. The stars seem brighter here, somehow. I have heard that the goddess of Fodlan grants a special blessing at this tower. The blessing ensures that any oath sworn between man and woman here shall be fulfilled. That is what I have heard. We had similar legends in Dusker. Some elements of human culture are universal, I suppose. Is there an oath you would like to swear? I am not sure that a full and lasting peace is possible. But while I have this opportunity, permit me to swear an oath to you. I swear that we will look upon these same stars again, when His Highness has led us to a more tranquil age. Good. There is a chill in the air, is there not? I am accustomed to cold weather, but you should go back indoors. I do not know how to dance. If you wish to teach me, then I will endeavor to learn. Let us return. If the cold is too much, I will lend you my coat.
It seems that everyone is having a delightful time. Will you not dance some more? How dull of you. Had I a body of my own? Oh, I would sing and dance until I fell upon the ground. But you... do as you will. Oh, you're not the only one who feels that way. Look over there. I'm bored beyond compare. Will you not follow her? Oh, come on, hurry up. I know that you are curious to see what she is up to. I hear someone singing from over there. That song. I feel that I have heard it in the past. Actually, it is not that I have heard it. Did I once sing that song to someone? No, there's more. I wrote this song. Oh, but how could that be so? If that were true, then how could she be singing it? Unless... No. I am suddenly so exhausted. As are you, no doubt? Quickly then, to bed with you.
Okay, so we're at the end of the month and we just have the mission left, and I'm getting a lot of supports, like a fair few, so I'll run the supports and then check our classifications and stuff. I think quite a few characters just reached level 20, so we can reclass them maybe. And yeah, we've got like a bit of a backlog on the supports as well.
Yum. So delicious. I'm so content in this moment. Felix!
Lysithia, you look mortified.
How long have you been there? Were you watching me? You were, weren't you?
I was, yes.
For once, I thought I had some privacy.
Did you say something?
Huh? Nope. Didn't say anything at all. Here.
What's this for?
I'm buying your silence. With cake. Take it.
I'm not sure what to be silent about.
If people knew I was shoveling cake into my face by the fistful, they'd think me nothing more than a child.
Adults eat cake.
You'll never understand. Just take this, will you?
No, I don't like sweets.
Does your refusal mean you'll be telling everyone about my cake shoveling ways?
I just don't like sweets, that's all.
Nonsense! Nobody can resist something so delicious! Look, I'm giving you this cake whether you like it or not. Eat it, toss it, throw it at an unsuspecting victim, the choice is yours. Just please don't mention this to anyone.
What was her problem? And what am I supposed to do with this cake?
Ah, Dorothea. What are you doing here?
I was actually waiting to see you.
Were you going to invite me out to dinner? I accept.
Yes, I was. I don't think it would be so bad to share a meal with you from time to time.
How about tonight? I'm busy tomorrow.
That's fine by me. What are you busy with, I wonder? Girls? And more girls?
Isn't it an unwritten rule not to ask about such things? But what a curious turn of events. Have you perhaps got an ulterior motive?
No ulterior motives. If you're worried, we can just pretend this conversation never happened.
No, wait! That's not what I meant. I just don't understand why you want my company now, when you've always been so cold to me. Have you perhaps fallen in love with me?
My stomach just got queasy. You know what? Maybe I'll eat on my own after all.
Fine, fine, I get it. You want someone to chase your loneliness away.
Something like that, yes. If you don't want to, I'll ask someone else.
Don't dream of it. It would be my pleasure, milady. And to be clear, the reason you chose to spend time with me is my family, yes? Or is it my crest? Both? I'm just curious about such things. Say I was a commoner. Would you still have invited me to dinner?
Is this really necessary for a simple dinner invitation? Actually, I have a question of my own. Say I was a hoarse-voiced old hag. Would you still be flirting with me? Would you still want to hold my hand and whisper sweet nothings?
That's a difficult question. I have nothing against mature women, but...
Even if you were an old man, I still would have invited you out. If you were a former noble exiled from his family, or an orphan from the streets, my heart cares not. Just kidding. I just wanted to try saying it. Of course it's better that you have money.
You little... Yeah, that's probably true. So, Dorothea, about that dinner?
It would be an honor to have you join me tonight. And let's not talk about things like this over dinner, okay?
Even if I was an old man or an orphan, huh?
That settles that. And don't even think about brawling around here again.
Impressive, Caspar. Well done.
Hey, Ferdinand, did you see that fight?
I saw it from start to finish. Both parties were at fault, disturbing the peace. Then you stepped in and corrected their behavior. You are setting a good example. I am proud to call you my fellow noble.
Your fellow noble? I wasn't even thinking about nobility. That had nothing to do with it.
Excuse me, nothing? Resolving conflicts among common folk is a duty of the nobles. Is that not what you were doing?
I guess so. But it was more like instinct or something. I saw people acting out of line and I had to step in.
Ah, you were acting on impulse. You might be better served following moral convictions rather than instincts. Take me, for example. I always bear in mind that I am a noble and behave accordingly. The fortunate must help the unfortunate. That is my guiding principle.
I never have any idea what you're talking about. If someone's in trouble, you gotta help them out. Simple as that.
A difference of opinion, you might say. Very well then. Believe what you will. I will not expend energy trying to change your mind.
Maybe all of this noble stuff just isn't for me. Hey! Don't walk away when I'm talking to you!
Ferdinand? Our professor is wanting to see you. He has much concentration right now. I will wait for him to be finished reading.
Diplomacy has an effect upon weapons development. Yes, that makes sense. Oh, Petra! How long have you been there?
A short time. You were devoting all of your attention to that book.
Forgive me, I was fully absorbed in my reading. I see you have been reading as well. Anything interesting?
I am studying the history of Fodlan.
A history book. What a keen student you are. And it's about House Hresfelg. Certainly a stimulating topic.
I am wishing to learn all about Fodlan. What is the book you are reading?
Oh, this? This relates to a little hobby of mine. The regional history of weapons development in Fodlan. Militaries have to adapt their weapons according to terrain and climate. And they have to keep up with technologies in other regions. It's very interesting.
Yes, it is interesting. I see why you would be enjoying that kind of reading.
Oh, does that excite your curiosity too? Perhaps you would care to read more about it then. This is just one of 18 volumes, and our library has the entire collection.
I give you my gratitude. Research of weapons could be a good reference for me. Oh, please take my apologies. I was meaning to tell you that our professor is wanting to see you.
Oh, it is not like you to forget something. I suppose I ought to be going then.
Yes, it is a rarity that I forget something. But it is not impossible.
Ah, that fragrance! Could it be? Ferdinand, I cannot help but notice the exquisite tea you're drinking.
Not many can appreciate it, let alone recognize it. I'm impressed.
Perhaps you would be so good as to indulge me with a cup?
By all means. Allow me to pour.
Ah, what a delightful aroma. When I close my eyes, I feel as though I've wandered into a rose garden.
Such a precise, poetic description. But please, drink up. No need to stand on ceremony.
How gracious of you. Very well. Flavor, fragrance, and hue, all in fine harmony. This is a most superior brew. And in a market saturated by pale imitation, no less. You did well to acquire such fine fare.
You are clearly quite passionate about tea. And more than just passionate. You know what it takes to brew a fine cup. To say nothing of your flawless etiquette and sterling attentiveness.
Certainly. Proper etiquette at tea time is one of the surest hallmarks of quality breeding. And the extent of one's attentiveness is quite often indicative of the depth of one's character. The ability of a person of fine stock to exhibit a rich quality of character is precisely what determines whether one is worthy to be called noble. And all of that can be seen in how one handles such a simple thing as a cup of tea.
Ah, marvelously put, Lorenz. I can tell you have given much thought to this subject. And if I may, I have always considered you to be the very model of noble comportment.
Oh, likewise, this has certainly been an extraordinarily meaningful cup of tea.
I wholeheartedly concur. Before we part ways, I would like to offer you some of these leaves.
Truly? Well, I'm flattered, but I cannot simply accept them without offering something in exchange. You simply must allow me to host you in turn, by way of recompense. We shall drink from House Gloucester's finest teacups and enjoy the loveliest of its cakes.
That sounds exquisite. I look forward to it.
Oh, Caspar, just who I was hoping to see. I have a tiny little request if you have time to help me.
I'm always happy to help. What can I do for you?
That is exactly what I was hoping to hear. Would you mind coming along to my room?
Your room? Okay. This isn't what I had in mind.
Come on, a big, strong guy like you. This is easy. Lift up the cabinet, please. I need to dust behind it.
There's still more to do. Why do you care so much about keeping this place clean? It's just a dorm room.
Were you raised in a stable? Leaving this place a mess wouldn't be fair to the next person who uses it. In fact, I think once we're done with this room, we should clean up your room as well.
Yeah, I don't think so. I have some actual training to do.
Oh, come to think of it, I have a date myself. The fella I'm seeing has quite a charming face, rich family, and I assume a tolerable personality.
Don't you get tired of spending time with all these guys who have tolerable personalities?
Oh, it gets tedious at times. You must listen to them talk, for one thing. But it's important for my future.
That's how I see my training. I guess it's pretty much the same thing.
I don't know if that's a comparison you really want to make.
Why not? Seems about right to me. Sure, I'm a noble, but I'm also a second son. I don't have anything coming to me. Why do you think I'm always training so much? I need to prove myself on the battlefield if I plan on making it anywhere in this world. I know you don't have noble status or wealth, so you're putting in the effort to marry well, right? See? Pretty much the same thing.
I suppose. It would be nice if everyone saw it that way. Well then, Caspar, I need to get ready for my date. Shall we both agree to work hard for our futures?
Absolutely. I just hope our efforts are worth it.
Caspar, that equipment is new. It is suiting. It suits you.
Oh, right. Thanks.
You get more strength each day. I do not want to be falling behind.
I'm impressed with how much stronger you've gotten too. More than I have.
No, Caspar, you are impressing to me. I want to be training with you.
Just hold on, Petra.
What is wrong?
It's your attitude. How can you act so casual around me? My father killed your father. You shouldn't be able to stand the sight of me. You actually hate me, right? That's fine. I can take it. I completely understand. Just be honest. Give it to me straight. If our roles were reversed, I don't think I'd be able to forgive you. I don't understand how you could just...
You are not the one who did the killing, Caspar. Our parents had conflict, but we are not them. I have no worry about it. You should not either.
I don't need to worry? Impossible! I don't think I'll ever be...
You must. If not, the conflict will keep carrying on. If children cannot forgive, it will not ever have an ending. Is that what you are wanting?
Well, of course not.
Please, give it some thinking. I will be leaving now.
Petra, how are you doing? Getting used to life here?
I am settled. Everyone shows great kindness.
I'm glad to hear it. I was so surprised when you first arrived. A princess all the way from Brigid.
You have my gratitude. But please do not call me princess. You are making my cheeks blush.
There's nothing to blush about. You're every little girl's dream of what a princess should be. Anyhow, I suppose it's been a long time since you've been back to Brigid, hasn't it? I hope you aren't homesick. Maybe we can cook one of your favorite dishes from back home.
I do wish for that. But there is no possibility. The ingredients are not found here.
I suppose you're right. That's probably why they don't cook the food of Brigid in the dining hall. I'm sorry. I just got to thinking about how hard it must be to live somewhere so far away from home and... No, it can't be impossible. I'll fix you a real meal of Brigid. I'll just find a recipe and similar ingredients.
Wait, Dorothea. It is the thinking that counts. But your cooking is... what is the word? Horrendous. That is what everyone is saying anyway.
Horrendous? Nobody's cooking can be that bad.
The thinking is enough for me. You have my biggest gratitude.
Fine, I'll do something instead of cooking for you. I just want to be sure that you feel at home here. How about a massage? That may help you loosen up.
I have no problems. My body is already able to relax.
Oh? Then perhaps I could sing you lullabies to help you sleep.
I'm not having sleeping trouble.
Just know that you never have to worry about putting me out. I like helping my friends. Well then, I must be going, but remember my offer.
Dorothea, is filling my heart full.
Okay, so since I've got quite a few new characters, they don't all necessarily have goals. Okay, Felix doesn't matter because I'm training as a dancer anyway. Sylvain is already doing that. Ah, okay, so this was one that Mercedes chose at first, but then she decided to switch to being a warlock, which she's currently working towards, so that's fine. I think in order to get to warlock, she needs to have A in order to pass it 100%, but I might try going for it again anyway. Okay, so Annette's is always also pretty straightforward, and she should also... Oh, Annette's not in our team anymore, never mind. Forgetting it. Ferdinand hasn't chosen anything. Casper, I guess I should keep an eye on, he's not chosen anything though. Dorothea wants to do magic. Petra still wants to be an assassin. Lorenz still wants to be a riding class. Okay, so Marianne's working towards Holy Knight. And Leonie doesn't have anything. So I'll just see what there is for like level 22 kind of characters. My only one, I guess I'm still away from maxing, yep. Dimitri, I still kind of want to change him to something else, but because I was like partway through his Cavalier class, but then on the other hand, I think the skill you get from this is this Desperation one where you can do your follow-up attack immediately, and Dimitri has such poor speed he probably isn't going to do that, and in any case he's taking so little damage that he probably doesn't need to do it, so maybe it's fine if I don't ever get that. Sylvain. Sylvain I'm not going to bother with, he's doing his class that he wants to be, and he's about to be level 20 anyway. Mercedes, I really want her to get... I really want to be classer, but she only has 67% and she failed last time. Okay. Ooh! Petra we can make into an assassin. With 100% chance. Awesome. Okay, let's do this.
I have
Oh, and Lorenz has maxed out his Cavalier, so he still wants to be a riding unit, so I guess the next one would be Paladin. He has a pretty decent chance of passing it actually. Okay, I'm gonna go for this. Advanced seals are not too expensive. Come on Lorenz, don't be so yay! Okay. Maybe this is Lorenz's first step towards being non-rubbish. Marianne, okay. So she wants to be a Holy Knight. I think Bishop is in that direction, so I'm gonna buy some more seals. Oh, I should sell some stuff first. Don't have enough money. And I'm gonna sell this devil sword that I got because I'm not ever gonna actually use it. Devil axe even. Okay, now we've got quite a bit of money, so I can buy lots of seals. If I go to the right shop. It's always 2,000. Guess they must be. I take back saying they're not that expensive. Okay, and I'm gonna try and get Mercedes reclassed into Warlock again. Ah, again, she's failed again. I need to make her do more magic and less healing. Okay, so I think that's everything I can do here. Okay, let's go and do this mission. Okay, I just saw it says suggested level 17. We're actually higher than 17, so it should probably be quite a straightforward mission.
Captain? Captain! Where are you? Hey, Professor, have you seen your old man? Too bad. I guess it will have to be you then.
I'm back. Sorry for the delay. My last mission took longer than expected.
Captain, thank goodness you're here. There are reports of demonic beasts near the chapel.
Nonsense. I haven't heard anything about the monastery's walls being breached.
That's why I'm heading there now, to see what's really going on. You'll join as well, won't you?
Of course. We're both sworn to protect this place.
It's odd. Just before they appeared, someone saw a number of students heading toward the chapel. They were apparently acting strange, as though they weren't in their right minds. Shortly after, demonic beasts started to appear, one after another.
The students. There's no way those demonic beasts got in from the outside. But none of that matters right now. We need to act. Go summon your students. Damn it. I wanted to talk to you about something important, but there's no time. There's never any damn time. But this is much more urgent, so it can hold for now. I'll meet you there.
Putting myself back into the squad priority order, having since we just had those Paralogue missions. Maybe they already are in order. Yep. Okay, and then do my usual adjutants. Lysithia goes on. And then Caspar on Petra. So we've got a few demonic beasts to deal with in this mission. I'm thinking it's not really so bad. There's there's not even that many of them. We've got like ridiculous gambits. Should honestly be not really problematic. And they don't really have any fancy skills, so there's this one is decreasing strength after combat. Otherwise their attack speed is only 15. So actually I think most of our characters are safe as well. Okay, I mean Marianne's got like a really heavy spell on, but her actual speed is 17, so if she's got like something lighter, then she's also safe as well. Wow, Petra has attack speed 30. That's pretty awesome. Okay, and Dimitri is not really getting any more protection just yet. Yeah, Leonie's definitely catching up with Dimitri on the tank front and surpassing him in the speed. If I get like this, so she gets a bit more authority, like if she gets like the authority that, like I think B ranks authority, then she would be up at like 28 protection. Which is not bad. Plus she also has her additional boost when she's next to a male character. Anyway, so let's... I don't need to worry too much about weapons. I might put axes on myself again? I don't know, maybe I want to be able to dodge things. No, I want to be able to do good damage, so I'm going to put axes back on myself. I'll store the lances. Get out some axes. This is just so I can do a bit more damage. I might even see if I can get like some ridiculous killer axe. Wait, 12. I mean, even if I have this, then it's not gonna... I should still be able to hit twice, I think, even. Maybe. I definitely won't get hit. I definitely won't get doubled. I might just take this killer axe as well. So with this lance that's like really strong against monsters, I'm going to take this and also equip Dimitri's monster killing skill, whatever it is. What's the blessed lance? Oh, it's really heavy. Might not use it in the end, but we'll see. Ferdinand's strength is not so good as well. Ah, so I don't have steel anymore. If I want to have it, I have to manually equip it. So let's see if there's anything I want to steal. I don't think there are from the monsters. Okay, no. But Petra doesn't, so she has the skill to mean that she's not going to get aggro, which I guess is like good and bad. Sometimes I kind of like her to get aggro because she's got a good chance of dodging. Okay. So for chest, there's like one over there, and that's it. So I would quite like to send Petra that direction to get the chest, so then I don't need to use a key for it. Where is she? Okay. Mercedes, Leonie. Lorenz and Ferdinand. Yeah. Change my mind. So Felix, Mercedes, Leonie, and then on the other side put Ferdinand and Lorenz. Marianne, Petra, Dorothea. Okay.
There really are demonic beasts here. They're emerging from the chapel. I'll head that way. The rest of you, protect the students who weren't able to get away.
Help me! These beasts, they're...
Somebody, help me!
You stupid beasts! Don't you dare come over here!
So we're going to have another thing where we have an allied unit who is going to be trying to get themselves killed, and we have to stop that from happening. Oh, I just realised I went and put Petra on the wrong side. Okay. Where was I wanting to do this? Well, basically I was wanting to have them all swapped around the other way. Anyway. Okay, maybe I don't have time to not take a turn here. Okay.
I'll cut through.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
I stand ready.
Stay focused.
I'll go.
Well done.
Let's get to it.
That's my cue.
Homie.
So nice of you.
Here we go.
So it could be that there's more of these than
Beast.
in hard mode. Oh, come on, Dimitri.
Let us be cautious.
People.
We'll work together.
Back to the fray.
Appreciated.
Oh, that's bad news.
Each... Thanks for that.
Appreciated.
I stand ready.
Let us be cautious. That helps.
That was nothing.
This many demonic.
Use caution. Thanks.
I stand ready.
Oh.
Forgive me, everyone. My bad.
Here we go. Who, me?
So hurtful. How sweet.
Still can't get far enough, but...
Stay focused.
Here we go. Who, me? I appreciate it.
Lovely timing.
Thank you. Let's get to it.
I will get the victory.
That's my cue. Growth is a...
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
I stand ready. Steady now.
This'll be... Someone, lend me a hand. I'll cut through.
We must be mindful.
So I'm not going to worry about breaking this thing right now. I just want to get this monster killed, basically.
I'll go.
Much needed. Sorry.
My limit is nearby.
It's
Admiration.
Thank you.
Oh nice, that guy's gone away. I don't need to worry about him anymore.
I thank you.
On you, Dedue.
No use.
Stay focused.
Quite helpful.
I will get the victory.
Kind of you. I'm dead.
Is that... If you want.
Thank you.
I can't wait to challenge you. Thank you.
That helps. Appreciated.
Too easy.
I stand ready.
Safe.
Kind of you.
Thanks.
I was so scared. I'll find a way to repay you. I promise.
You saved me! Thank you.
Wasn't a trace of evidence to be found in the chapel. This must have something to do with Ramire. Perhaps...
Wait!
Huh? Another student? Run along now.
Thanks for all your help, sir. You're just a pathetic old man. How dare you get in the way of my brilliant plan, you dog.
Run along now.
Thanks for all your help, sir. Huh? What are you doing here?
You must survive, merely because there is still a role that I require you to fulfill.
Sorry. It looks like I'm going to have to leave you now. To think that the first time I saw you cry, your tears would be for me. It's sad, and yet I'm happy for it. Thank you, kid.
So this is where your father lived. Are you still crying? If turning back the hands of time was not enough to save his life, you must accept what came to pass was fate. Control yourself. Though Jeralt's death was at the hands of wicked ones, a fate is still a fate. Oh, your father said to look for something here. He must have been referring to whatever is behind that bookcase there. Your father's diary. Huh. His handwriting is prettier than his face would suggest. Well, well. These entries here are from before your birth. He seems to have been writing this for quite some time. Read that part there. Horsebow Moon, year 1159.
Day 20 of the Horsebow Moon. All is cloudy. I can't believe she's dead. Lady Rhea said she died during childbirth. But is that the truth? And still, the child she traded her life for doesn't make a sound. Didn't even cry at birth. Day 25 of the Horsebow Moon. It's raining. The baby doesn't laugh or cry. Not ever. Lady Rhea says not to worry, but a baby that doesn't cry isn't natural. I had a doctor examine the child in secret. He said the pulse is normal, but there's no heartbeat. No heartbeat. Day 2 of the Wyvern Moon. Sunny. I feel I must take the child and leave. But the church is always watching us. I don't know what Lady Rhea has planned. I used to think the world of Lady Rhea. Now I'm terrified of her. Day 8 of the Wyvern Moon. More rain. I used the fire that broke out last night to fake the child's death. Lady Rhea is in a state over the news, but I can't change what I've done. I've got to take the child and leave.
Well now, that baby must be you. That means... Someone is approaching us.
There you are. Lady Rhea is looking for you, Professor. And after your audience, why don't you join me at the dining hall? You haven't eaten since it happened, have you? Forgive me. I suppose it's too soon to try and coax you back into the normal swing of things. As for what happened to Jeralt, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't do anything to stop it. Stay here until you've found some peace. I'll cover for you with Lady Rhea and everyone else. No need to put on a brave face. No one would blame you for taking time for yourself. I don't believe it's a sign of strength to just keep moving forward no matter what. Taking the time to grieve for those we've lost, there's strength in that too. That's what I think anyway. That said, it's also important to remember that no matter how sad you are, eventually your tears will dry up. That's when you have to figure out what it is you're living for. Then you can cling to that with all your might and start moving forward again. 4 years ago in Dusker, I experienced the same pain you're feeling now. My father was the strongest man I knew, someone I loved and admired deeply. That day, he was killed before my eyes. His head severed clean off. My stepmother, the kindest person I had ever known, left me behind and disappeared into the infernal flames. Everyone who I considered precious, my family and my closest friends, I couldn't save any of them. Not a single one. Now, the burden of the work they left behind falls on me. I must ensure they have no regrets. That's my duty as the sole survivor of the tragedy. It's a heavy burden, but accepting it gave me the strength to pick myself up off the ground and start moving again. Start living again. Jeralt is gone. So what will you do now, Professor? What must you do? Look deep in your heart, and I'm certain you'll find the answer there. Indelible and inescapable. I've probably bothered you enough for today, but I have just one more thought to leave you with. Even now, Seteth is gathering the knights to begin a full-scale search for the enemy. It may not be right away, but before long they will find their trail. No matter what happens or what anyone may say, know that I plan to stand by you, Professor. Through anything. Until the bitter end.
Well, did you search deep within yourself as he suggested? And did you find yourself some answers? This book is filled with secrets yet unknown. We must return another time to read the rest. Oh, but I have at least figured one thing out. I know now why our fates are intertwined.
Professor, I have been waiting for you. I am filled with grief at the loss of our most celebrated knight. Jeralt was an ally of many years, and also a dear friend. It was a long while back. At the time, Jeralt was a soldier of the kingdom. He was injured in battle, and I saved him just as he was about to perish. That was our first meeting. After that, he became a knight of Seros. He gave his all in service of the church. He fell in love with one of the nuns here at Garreg Mach. Their love produced a child.
whom she died giving birth to. It was her decision. She weighed her own life against that of her child's and, in the end, implored me to save the child. Your father never truly accepted that decision. He took the child, took you, and disappeared without warning. Your mother, she was my...
Sorry for the interruption, Lady Rhea. There's something you must hear immediately. A report from the knights patrolling the area.
Very well. Professor, you are dismissed for the day. Please rest and focus only on mending your heart. Understood?
So that's one chapter, like quite a lot of drama this time. And also, we can't get Jeralt to teach us authority anymore. Sucks. Anyway, so I'm going to call it a day for this one. In the next video, we move into the next chapter and get our revenge. That's all. Thanks for watching.